You're on.
Everybody join me in the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody just make sure you turn your phones on silent. And I am going to jump the agenda here. And we're gonna pull Mr. Ed Porter up top, and we're gonna swear him in as if there are no objections.
There are no objections. I highly recommend it.
I'm going to appoint Ed Porter as our newest trustee to fill until the November election. All right, Ed. Actually, yeah, I want to do it, yeah.
Very good.
Get right up here by the flag. Okay. Raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I state your names.
I, Ed Porter,
Do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
faithfully discharge
the duties of trustee
the duties of trustees
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You'll sign right there.
I only have a colored pen because I'm a teacher. Where do I sign?
Oh,
Right there?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Welcome aboard. Official. All right. Going back to the top. A motion to approve the minutes, but we will need to make, insert into the, minutes, the fact that we authorized the, hiring of a fifth officer for the Houma Police Department. We talked about it in discussion. However,
You did make a motion.
civil service requires us that we have this specified in our minutes.
All right, you need the comment?
I'm gonna make a motion that we approve the minutes for January 28th, 2025, with the change just stated by Mayor.
I have a second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. I'll authorize the payment of the bills.
Make a motion that we authorize the payment of the bills from the A fund for vouchers 1593 through 1619 in the amount of $50,399.36. From the F and G fund vouchers number 507 through 512 in the amount of $139,185.29. And finally, from the TNA fund voucher number 53 in the amount of $1,896.10.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Report on the offices.
We want to do a consent on that or?
We don't have it set out as consent, so we'll have to go through.
Okay. I read them online.
Does anybody have any questions on codes? Nope. All right,
I'll make a motion to accept the codes report as written.
I'll second.
discussion? All in favor?
I
Dog report,
make a motion that we approve the dog control report.
second,
Second it.
discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. DPW,
I'll make a motion that we accept the DPW report as written.
I'll second.
discussion, as some people may have heard, the state has done some restrictions on the salt. We still have salt, so, and we ordered more, which came in. So,
Super.
all right, that was my discussion. We got a second.
I'll just commend the DPW for the job that they're doing, staying on top of the snow and ice throughout the village. It has been a rough winter and, thank you for keeping us safe.
Yeah. All right, all in favor? Aye. Fire department. I see we've got, fire department on. Anybody, want to comment from the fire department?
No.
There, how's that? Hi. Nope, nothing.
Okay, we'll be talking about the vehicle discussion later, but for now, I'll accept a motion on the fire department report.
I'll make a motion to accept the fire report as written.
Second,
Second.
discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None heard, carried. Police department. Chief, anything you want to add?
Want to welcome our newest trustee.
Thank you.
I see you did issue a ticket for, somebody peddling without a peddler's permit.
Yep.
Just so people know, if you want to sell something, you have to come to the village office and see Dan Clerk, our village clerk, if you want to sell anything in the village. That keeps you in our good graces and the police department's good graces. All right,
I'll make a motion to accept the police report as written.
I'll second that.
discussion. All in favor? Aye. Recreation, Andrew, anything for us?
No, sir. I'd like to welcome Mr. Porter and congratulate him on his appointment.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce.
I heard that well, I know I'm gonna probably steal from the February. But the father-daughter dance went well, did it?
Yes, quite a turnout. A lot of well-dressed fathers and daughters, and everything was went off without a hitch.
I'll make a motion, we accept the rec report as written.
Yep, I'll second.
Discussion? With the discussion, I see that you're sending out the announcements for the summer basketball league, which for those people that are not happy with the winter, that's gotta be good news.
Trying to put some optimistic things out there for everybody.
All right, we have a second, discussed, all in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Water and sewer,
Make a motion that we accept the water and sewer report.
I'll second.
second, discussion,
Guys are doing great considering they're working in the snow fixing late, so I'm very proud of them, as I always have been.
and Lucas, passed his water license test, so that's good.
That's great.
All right, I got a motion, second, discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carried. Okay, privilege of the floor. Anybody privilege of the floor? All right. Moving on, old business, salt shed grant. Dan?
The application for this salt shed project was done in 2019. That is a lifetime ago. As we moved through the project and as it was paused, obviously during the pandemic and all that stuff, information in the contract, I misinterpreted as the grant being a 75-25, which is a more advantageous grant, obviously. Going back to the original application, it's actually 50-50, kind of like a workable homer. So instead of the 86,000 K reimbursement we had sought, it's probably going to be around 52 or 53. So apologies for that.
Is there a timeframe that you expect to get it?
Probably next fiscal year. Let's put it that way.
All the paperwork's in.
Yes.
Just waiting on them.
And I talked to the mayor about this, well, I guess last week, right? Staying away from 50-50 grants would be, I think, advantageous for the village.
Close out what we got before.
Yep.
All right, any other questions on the salt shed grant?
What kind of grants might there be for like solar panels, and could they be bigger than 50/50? Cause I know we built the salt shed so it could handle solar panels. That may be something we may want.
Well, that was part of the idea, but we do have a hardtop, and I imagine those can be installed on them. I mean, those solar panels, there's energy companies that do the stuff. There's state stuff. It's all, it kind of runs the gamut. I haven't seen anything that's a good 75/25 or 90/10 for that myself.
Okay,
So,
so much for energy for New York State. Helping out, all right.
Okay, the electronic sign discussion. We signed the moratorium on 31 October, and we are about halfway through. So we'll need to look at that. We may need to set another date for us to do a workshop, but we need to dig in and start getting on it. I know we have started getting feedback from the,
I was just gonna ask you that.
yeah, we've gotten some feedback, constructive feedback from our residents on the sign that we have out by the rec center.
I've only heard good stuff, so I don't know, I'm hear anything bad.
Oh, yeah.
People like it.
One of the things that we've been facing right now is because it's not, it's based off the internet right now, so if the internet goes down, then the TV goes down. If it times out, it goes to the screensaver. So these are some of the bugs, which is why we have it up, is to figure out these bugs now. So that when we do construct something, it's the best. The other thing we had was when the sun hits it, of course, this is not the ideal location, but it's where we have it for safety and security. Obviously, it would be perpendicular to 11.
And there could be like an overhang too, so.
Right, and it'd be a monument style.
And you could actually, I guess you got choices that have to be facing north and south, so that shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
Cause it's on Route 11 mostly. So yeah, I don't see that sun would be a problem, because it's gonna be horizontal to the east and west and north and south. You should be able to read it pretty well.
Should be able to create some kind of a visor while it's in frame.
I kinda like it so far.
So, we've gotten feedback, we'll consolidate those, but I definitely think that we are gonna have to, because we still have 281, which is a separate area that we have to address.
I got thoughts on that too.
This is not gonna be something we're gonna solve tonight, but we need to have the discussion that we may need a separate work session. Because we have to be cognizant of the time that we have left on our moratorium. And we also have construction that is occurring on 281 that they need to have some answers as to what we're gonna do as well.
We should set up some kind of a public Saturday morning or something in either community building or downstairs or even here. Depends on how many people might want to join.
I'd like to do to flesh some things out before we bring the community in so that they can see what we're thinking.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And then they can comment on that, right? All right. Does anybody else have anything they want to add on the electronic signs?
No, I like it. I think it's, you know, the 5x4 kind of maximum size, which is what you got now. I like the TV idea versus the dots from the LEDs, so I think we're making some good progress here.
You can put pretty much anything on it.
And you can use it for emergencies if you had to. You could, you know, instantly say, hey, there's a flood coming or a hurricane or something, or, you know, stay off of the road because there's a big fire going on or something. I hope not, but I mean, you know, for emergencies, you can override and actually, you know, something like that. So I kind of like the technology actually, and it's not that expensive compared to what I've read on some of the other ones. So, yeah.
Okay. We'll look at the schedule, we'll get the information out to all the board members, and we'll start fleshing out. I know Dan's done a whole lot of work already. We'll start fleshing out where we want to go with this. Okay.
I still have a copy of the original a draft on the law, so
Okay.
some great comments in it. Yep. He needs to, oh, you need to get it forward to him.
All right, next up is the fire department vehicle discussion, which if you look in your packets, you'll see that there's a proposal from. All right, Jay, how do you pronounce it?
Fine.
Toyne?
The Darley pump.
No, the Toyne?
Oh, there's a Toyne. There should be a Ford chassis E1 and then the Darley International.
So we have different proposals here. Jay, go ahead and talk us through the reasoning.
All right, so we were initially started off this mini pumper track because our trucks are aging out. Into for the necessity of what we need to do, we discussed combining trucks for multi-purpose use. That started with the mini rescue that we just bought this past year, took delivery on as a multi-purpose unit. So we used it at the fire on Cold Brook Road the other day, where we loaded fire hose in the back of it, turnout gear for cancers and things like that. With that switch, 511, which is a mini, or a brush truck, it just has a small pump on it. We were going to switch that out and combine that with 501, which was our draft truck that goes to draft sites, so that we don't run the calls that we used to due to code enforcement and all those other things. So combining the truck from 501 and 511 to one unit, and then the phase 3 part of it would be to combine our heavy rescue that doesn't roll, but we need we need a bunch of the equipment that's on it still, and combining that with a truck. So we're essentially trying to eliminate 1 or 2 fire trucks. The two that you'll see that are the cheaper ones are on a 550 chassis. The problem with that is, and Mr. Meyer said 18 step, it's actually a 12-step process to put it into what's called pump gear, as opposed to a 3-step process, just like our fire engines are, which would be the international chassis with the Darley pump. It's just brake, neutral, and you're into pump gear. The 550s run off the transmission of a regular 550, and that the computers have to talk to each other. And so what the manufacturers are doing is they're posting a list of the step process. Well, that's all well and good that you have a 10-step process posted in front of you, but when you have fire blowing out or you need to get water to that piece of apparatus, that 10 steps could mean the difference of saving a life. Also, if you were to hit the parking brake on accident on the 550 chassis, then it would just shut everything down and you had to restart the whole thing over again. So the Darley International is a little bit more expensive, but it will fit the needs that we want in the modern fire service going forward. I gave a copy of the spec to Mike Park at the town. We were in discussion of the town, see if they can give us some funding for it as well, given that it's going to be used in the town a lot as well, for that aspect. I know it looks like a lot of money between the town, us, and our reserves, our budgeting, because we do not pay on it until we take delivery. And what we have in reserves, I'm confident that we can pay for this truck outright. We don't have to bond for it or anything like that. Also, we're replacing 501, which is over 20 years old. And if we were to replace 501 today, that would be over $1 million. So we're getting a smaller version of it, and we're gonna save half the money. I know it's a lot to process, but this is just part of the truck replacement fund going forward. And it started with when we agreed to do the 542, the Stonewall body trucks. So we're getting there.
Jay,
The problem
this
is sorry.
This is about a 3-year procurement time.
This one is 18 months. The
18 months.
the 3-year one is the rescue pumper that we discussed, but we have been in talks of what pricing is going to be for that. That's why we applied for that grant to replace it, and that's a 3-year build. So essentially, we should know by June if we get the grant. So let's just say things line up. The truck replacements of where we staggered them with how it takes, it'll be right on track to be able to replace them at a reasonable rate instead of holding on to them for 20, 30 years and only getting $1,500 or whatever we got for 502 or the old 503. Because what happens is we hold on to these trucks for too long, and then we're not getting anything in replacement for them, and they're just nickel and diming us. So
The town's response to your proposal.
what's that? Sorry.
The town's response to your proposal.
Well, Mike said that I gave it to him, and he said that he was gonna discuss with the board, but they want to give us something towards it. He hasn't thrown any real numbers at it yet, but I'm hoping it's a good amount. But they are in favor of giving us something for it. I reached out to the town of Scott. They don't have any money. They offered to do a chicken barbecue for us, to raise money. So that's where we're at with that. But town of Homer, I'm just waiting. They have their board meeting tomorrow. So I put those three in front of him to show that. So he's gonna bring that to their board meeting tomorrow night.
When you got 20-year-old trucks, 25 is kind of like the cutoff, so these things are in our pipeline. So I don't know, how much money do we have in reserves that help?
We'll have to
Plus
get,
some grants?
the town is very anxious, is very supportive of this. This truck is mostly focused for town, for getting into those areas that are tougher to get into.
Yeah, if you need a draft truck, we don't need drafts here because we got fire hydrants in more or less the village, so yeah, you're right.
The other good thing about this is as the fire department is right sizing their fleet, going from 2 trucks down to 1
That's gotta
will
be good.
open up some space within the building as well.
All good.
So,
What do they need from us now?
I think we just need to wait from, Jay, let's wait till we hear from the town.
Okay.
All right, this is something that we have to make a decision tonight. The board members can review the things, and if you think of any other questions for Jay, please talk with him about it. And then we'll bring this back up at the end of the month. All the quotes are good for 90 days, so not pushing this off, but we're gonna be methodical about this. And like you said, you guys might not think of any questions right now. I had a chance to sit down one-on-one with Jay and pick his brain. So if you guys have any questions, please do so.
No, this is important. We need to have a good fire department.
And we have, and we've been running calls, and we've had fires, and we've had good stops on. We've been saving a lot of property out there. If you guys have checked the reports and stuff and on Facebook.
We
and stuff.
do. Yeah, you guys have been working hard.
So I mean, and the guys, I mean, we got to try to do something to get the trucks updated and stuff, because we're nickel and diming ourselves left and right with some of the stuff.
20-year-old trucks, that's definitely gonna be nickel and dime constant.
But yeah, just reach out, email me, call me, however you guys want. I'll answer any questions anytime. I mean, I know it looks like a lot of money, but at the end of the day, this is the best option we got. Like I live in the village too, and this is so trust me, I'm cognizant of that. But this has been a vetting process for probably a year and a half now of getting to where we're at. We've test drove and pumped fire trucks. I drove out to Clyde to try one of those fire trucks out by Watertown or Waterloo, wherever that is. And just stuff like that. So this has been about a year and a half to why we landed here. I didn't just put this in front of you guys as hey, this is a good idea. This was vetted out with me, Mike Harder, a bunch of people. And this was the best option that we got, was this international that we put in front of you.
I like the international versus a 554. I mean, those are just those extra large pickup trucks kind of things. Well, we use them for our plow trucks now.
Oh yeah, but it's not a real fire truck. That's the problem. They try to make it as
Yeah, and it does. Yeah, this seems a little underwhelming to me. I like.
no. In this one, the international, we can do 1,500 gallons per minute. The other one they
Real
claim
frame.
can do 1,200, but they say that's pushing it. So it's just not you're replacing a fire truck with not a fire truck, and so you might spend a couple couple $1,000s more, but you're gonna get the right fire truck for the fire department for the next 20 years.
Yeah, I like the Navistar better personally.
All right, any other questions for Jay? All right, thanks, Jay.
I'm gonna go back to work now. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Something that wasn't on the agenda, but it was brought up to my attention. Chris Sweeney, who's the Little League president, passed away.
Oh,
I can't say enough nice things about him. When my son was in Little League, when I was there to support that, just what a nice person and a tremendous loss. So our condolences to his family and to the entire Little League community, of which he was such a large part. Absolutely. So our condolences there. Next up is the mayor trustee insurance payout. That is in the employee handbook. You have to, every year we have to go through whether or not you're going to accept, decline the coverage or take the reimbursement. So please check your inboxes.
I like the reimbursement.
Okay.
That's okay.
Was there anything else I need to cover on that?
Don't think so.
Okay. All right. Comments by the attorney.
Thank you.
All right. Comments by the board members.
Yeah, okay, we're doing well with, getting our grant, hopefully getting our grant money. The DRI is progressing. I understand the state is talking to some of the people who, have won, some grants, to work on, so that's good. I haven't heard a whole lot for the village, but maybe there's something going to happen that we can get involved in. I do like the LED sign. I think the TV is probably a pretty good option, but we're still open. It's still a study. Decisions have not been met, or made. So anyhow, and, I think we're doing pretty good. We got our budget out. It's not, we had to raise taxes a little bit, but we did do some cuts. So I think our budget is pretty darn good considering what's happening with the county taking $400,000 away from us over the next 3 years. So if we don't start cutting and doing things now, it's gonna be a bad bite in a couple of years. So we're doing the right thing, and you got a good board here that's paying attention to it. Over.
Elizabeth,
Oh, nothing for me, thanks.
Kevin.
I just wanted to go back and follow up on what Elizabeth said about how good the street and parks department is taking care of the roads and the village as a whole, and the water department out there in the freezing cold, fixing the leaks and changing pumps out and all kinds of good stuff in the village.
Got good people.
Thank you
That's
guys
what it's
for that.
about.
And I know this is your first meeting, so I'm not gonna put you on the spot.
Well, I just want to thank you for the opportunity and look forward to working with you. Probably be a little bit quiet the first couple of meetings as I absorb everything that's going on and try to learn. But I appreciate the opportunity.
I got paperwork for you to sign after this.
Okay. Paperwork. Yep.
All right, just so everybody knows, in our residence, President's Day, the town and village offices and the court offices will be closed on Monday, February 17th. All right. For the,
Mark
Board.
Stevens' birthday.
oh, all right, but we're open for that.
I know.
For the board members, I put out a draft board meeting schedule. The one conflict I saw is November 11th is Veterans Day, but I think we can still have our board meeting unless somebody has any reasons not to, but this is a draft. I'd like to approve this at the next board meeting on the 25th, so if you can have any questions, concerns addressed to me before then, I'd appreciate it. The account clerk position is posted on Indeed. We've already gotten some feedback, but if you know anybody, I encourage them to take a look. We are a great place to work, great people. So that's up. And then Dan and I will be working on the treasurer position next. We still have Pro Nexus Consulting helping us with the books and getting things up to date. All right, at this point, Chief, did you have anything for us?
No, sir.
Questions from the news?
I'll do one. Do you have anything? You go first.
Kevin, Lily's letting you go first.
I just have one question. Is the moratorium up, is it expire in March or is that another time?
April.
April, okay. That's all I
End
have.
of
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. All right, thanks, Pat.
That was it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, I'm not gonna complain.
I'd like a tiny bit of extra info about the new trustee.
Ah!
Wait, why? What are you doing?
No, we're just laughing
No,
because.
we like it.
Yeah.
We're gonna give them a hard time
Okay.
because we can.
You said you were a teacher
Yes,
at Homer?
Cortland High School.
Oh, Cortland High
Yeah.
School. What do you teach?
I teach English.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what made you wanna join?
Well, that's an interesting question. I've always been interested in the village. I graduated from Homer High School many years ago. I've always been interested in how the village does, and I have been talked to by Mr. Finkbeiner for a couple of years about maybe getting involved, and then I started to see that maybe I could get involved and do some good for the village. And I'm really interested in the village thriving.
Nice. Thank you.
And with his background in English, our meeting minutes are.
We are.
gonna be
I already saw some errors, just so you
Much,
know.
much better. So, Maureen, you're gonna love this.
Mhm.
Okay, any other questions, Lee? All right. Unfortunately, we do have to go into executive session for New York State Public Officers Law, Article 7, Section 105, dealing with the personal finances of employees.
Make a motion that we go into executive session now at